Wait, no one's gonna be on stream yet. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta wait. Wait for it.
Let people from. He's got to post that the stream's live.
We should just make an intermission. Just an intermission.
Yeah,
between
just throw us
games.
into intermission.
Yeah, we'll do that.
You
I'm
can
also
throw.
gonna mute.
One of your casters.
I guess it's only one door.
Yeah, with me is Flaylin. Now I do know something about both these teams. Revenants, I'm quite familiar with, and Bioshock, I'm also quite familiar with. So this is a game I'm personally kind of excited for.
Empty, if you've got an idea of what, just a little bit, I guess you've seen these two teams before. What, looking into this matchup here, you know, Pearl, pretty even map, I'd say, just based off like ranked play. Statistically, it's about 50-50 attack defenders. What do you think this matchup might end up looking like here?
I think I'd have to. I think it's literally gonna come down to what comps, what we're playing. From what I know about these teams, they're not large. From what I've seen from them before, they're not largely different in skill. Especially knowing Revenants, they've come close to winning tournaments I've seen. So.
Yeah, I'm okay. We do see the Vice on both sides. I think she is such a strong agent on the defensive side on this map.
I am looking over to the double duelist from Bioshock though.
I'm surprised we don't have a Teo from. I guess he's such a new agent, but still, he is just so broken that I feel like he's super strong.
Yeah, especially on Pearl, you've got the ability to clear out, you know, either B back or A back. You know, that little corner back there. Always pesky. Although I don't hate the Yoru Jet. I think it's going to give them a bit of explosive power. They just need to make sure that they're clearing stuff properly with that Sova.
Yeah, definitely. I think it also gives you a little bit more wiggle room on defense with him being so mobile. Being able to sort of play as like a half defender on either site. But there's also the Astra by both teams, which her ult is just super good for retakes on this map as well.
Absolutely. And taking it over. What? Okay, looking on Revenant's Academy side, it's a Phoenix Jet.
Ooh. I think Phoenix can be done right, but I don't think I've ever seen.
I don't think I've ever seen a team run double duels with Phoenix. No, I mean, I think if you're running that Jet Yoru, it kind of makes sense. You can always play that Yoru as an initiator when you need to. With this double duelist on the enemy side, on the Revenant's Academy side, I don't think I've ever seen a team run a comp quite like this. It's kind of hard to envision exactly what kind of style they're going to be playing with this.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was gonna say, like, Phoenix flashes are a little bit short. The conditions to use them are a lot harder, but I guess you can sort of make up for it with the Vice, Rose Arc, like, flash. But still, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see here. I think, you know, there's a lot of wiggle room with comps, but, you know, you just gotta really be aware of where the weaknesses fall. So we'll see how Revenants are able to take advantage of this comp going into the first round here.
Absolutely, no. Getting straight into it. Instantly, we're going to see this 5-man rundown from Bioshock. They're looking to play this double duelist to its full potential. However, they are running into the stack here.
Yeah, straight into Vice.
Alright, Vice in the backside, about to take this duel with Yoru. And it's gonna be a win there. Already the defense taking 1, taking 2, taking 3, and taking 4!
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
4 win all.
It's
Whoa,
like
and
he heard us doubting the Phoenix pick and answered. Oh my gosh. I mean, you know, running straight into the Vice stack there, of course, like, I guess you could say running it down with a 5-man, you've got an aggressive comp, you know, but Yoru really needs to win that dual back site in order to sort of take the pressure off, because then, you know, you're left alone, 1 versus 1, your teammates are behind a wall, and then, you know, maybe something could have happened, but I mean,
absolutely.
Oh.
Oh, and he's gonna get another 3!
1 enemy remaining.
Oh my, and blink and you miss it round right there. Duelist on the side of Revenants going off.
There, okay, like, I don't want to put down on Hori in this, but, like, Bioshock, you know, you've got 5 people peeking there. I think there might have just been some miscommunication, you know. For a duelist to dry peek that and get 3 is just, that's just, it needs to be cleaned up.
Absolutely. Still, I mean, you got momentum now going into Revenants.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, going to the side of Revenants. We're gonna see a bit of a slower approach with Bioshock.
They really need to win this round.
It
Especially with
is.
the econ.
It's a must. Instantly, gonna see the duel. Kingston gonna take that one.
Yeah. Oh, but look at B site. It might be a
messy
retake here.
I mean, not necessarily a bad idea. You know, when you're down on guns, you wanna always be going in with your util on them, not your util on you. Makes sense. Vice gonna find the pick in middle. Onto even tank. And on the side of Bioshock, looking to just back up, play the post, play it well.
Retrieving flash.
Yodu inserted into back. And now it's up to Revenants to try and root him out. Looks like he's gonna dip out himself. Still, there's layers to this approach. They've got the spike down and they don't have tons of time. Already 15 seconds deep into this plant.
Last player standing.
Chills.
Oh
Oh my
goodness.
chills. Chills giving us chills. That's kind of what you need if you're bio. You know, you see the individuals on Revenant stepping up. You gotta step it up yourself at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we saw basically the same type of execute there in the first round, but, you know, this round Yoru was able to stay alive a little bit longer, which gives the defense, you know, more angles to worry about there, and it's just, the post plant was played, I was a little worried, you know, they kind of gave up sight really easily, but they had a lot of util to work with, and they made it happen.
Absolutely. Now it's gonna be a rifle round. First even rifle round of the half. Although interesting buy on Ether. He's down to 0 credits on the Vandal. Gotta just be looking for those 1 taps. Another sort of from the side of Bioshock. 3 mid in the 2A, looking to do a similar thing, flipping sights. And wait, hold up. Did I miss something? Ether's already down to 10 HP.
Yeah, he swung into mid and just got dinked with a phantom, but
Oh lord. Okay, so that's why it's not shield. I thought he came in not buying it, guys.
yeah. Now I think this is the first split we've seen. Oh no.
Horn roll, okay. And Zoro, gonna take out Ether. Okay, the trade back.
Wall straight.
Now, it's up to... That's up to Vice to
Ow.
hold the site, and he will not hold it.
Bioshock
Spike planted.
deep into sight, taking out the one member that was there. At, you know, Synthoa sitting backside, pretty much just trying to wait for his teammates here.
Undrill
Peeking in
spotted,
front.
and Synthoa gonna pop it.
Bring them down.
See the util coming out for the retake. A lot to work with. 3 versus
1
2.
enemy remaining.
Seize comes around, doesn't land. Phoenix flash. They know where he is. And that's a cleanup round there. After Bioshock pretty much got that site almost for free.
Yeah, I think if you're Bioshock, you've gotta be looking at your... You know, you're taking your sites, but you're not always winning these posts. I think the one post they have won so far is off that individual moment. You gotta make sure you're, you know, balancing the site take util with that retake. Sorry, post plant util.
Yeah, I'm not sure, you know, they gave up the site a little easy, or sorry, yeah, they gave up the site a little easy, but they did group back together and make it happen. Although looking at the econ here, I'm not sure I like the buy from Bioshock here. You know, you have, you have two players who are really
Get out of my way!
low on money. Buying the Spectre might be ill-advised here. At least if somebody drops the op, you know, you can run the knives, or the Vandal. Sorry, not an op. You can pick it up, but
Yeah, absolutely.
definitely not looking good econ-wise. Oh my goodness.
Kingston is gonna have those knives popped, and he's gonna flank ult. Gonna get 2 off the flank ult. Respawns. Horny looking to get more, but pulls out that hot hands, and he's gonna get picked off by Chills. Finally putting that to bed. The 13-3 player for the side of Revenants. But still, the damage is done. It's a 3v4 into the take now. Not gonna be an easy rounds. However, Chills does have the ult off that kill. Gonna pop it, start the site take.
Here comes the rotates.
You'd hope. Still, they have to clear out back. Eighth, they're gonna get cleared. But Raccoon gonna find one to the classic. That's Valorant timing if I've ever seen it.
We'll catch them.
However, the answer back is already there, and it's just up to Zoro now. Try and get the second round on the board for his team. However, being pressured from all sides, and it is not gonna happen. 4th round on the board for Revenants here. And the eco
Yeah.
going in next is tough for Bioshock.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, Corey has pretty much been, you know, pretty aggressive mid several rounds, and just having no player there really gives him free reign to do what he wants and get a ton of info, basically with no punishment there. So by the time he got the call B, he was already in their spawn, allowing him to pinch for free with his ultimate. And they just got completely punished. But now we see a bit of a default here. They seem to have learned that he's coming, but they can't answer. Oh my goodness.
Spike down mid.
Alright, Horny again gonna find the one. This time getting traded faster, but Synthoa getting respond right back. It's just another disaster for Bioshock. Raccoon finishing off Mr. Dinkles. And that's just, I don't know what really to say about that round. It was fights taken and fights won for the side of Revenants.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're looking at an econ there where you're probably not gonna win, but maybe a little bit more aggressive play. You know, you've seen the Phoenix there, at least, you know, 3, maybe 4 rounds already. You know, it wouldn't be that bad of a bet to make, to just say, okay, you know, he's probably going to be playing mid doors, so we can just pre-util dump this and try and clean up on their top frag, maybe get a rifle, snowball from there. But really, if I'm Bio right now, you just got to be thinking about controlling more of the map. I feel like they've telegraphed a lot of their site hits here, allowing for flanks and rotates very easily.
Absolutely, and you know, I don't actually hate Bio strategy. I don't hate their site hits. I think it's just a little too slow, and when they're getting those post plants, it's just not working out for them. However, Revenants has been really good on the post plants, and that's mostly because they're getting numbers early, solely off of Hornby. I mean, this guy's just been going off. He's 15-4 on the scoreboard right now. Second frag is 4-1.
Yeah, I mean,
unheard of numbers from him.
As much as I want to talk about strategy here, oh my goodness, he's going for an op already. But like, if you're just losing these aim duels, you need to be able to, you need to be able to out-util. You have to outplay here. And there we go. We do see the util dump here towards where Phoenix was playing last time. Now they have a bunch of mid space.
Uh-oh. Here comes the raid boss, though. Finding one, stopping the sheriff. Sees one, he's gonna find the off kill. No scope on him. Finding the third.
Spike
Oh my
down
goodness.
B.
Hornby, what a player. Vice cleaning up last two. He cannot be put down. And
I mean,
honestly, the more I look at this game, it's Hornby dominated, but I'm not seeing the util response from the side of Bioshock.
Yeah, I can't even blame Zoro there. You know, maybe, you know, on the no scope, that's just unlucky, but still, you know, if you really wanted to be confident in that, you could have flashed out. You could have used maybe an Astra stun just to make sure he's not going to be able to capitalize off of that, but really, that is just a hard spot to be in here.
Absolutely, and there is a point we have to start recognizing, you know, the util's not pushing this guy off. What do we have to do to push him off? Because he's really just killing them. Now, Bioshock, they're going to be running into the stack with the Vice onto the B site. You know, a little wary of the A site after previous rounds.
I mean, that Vice wall, that Vice wall is pretty much the MVP. I mean, look at how far Aether is into their spawn.
And Hornry, wait, he's just getting them through the feet.
One enemy remaining.
If I'm not mistaken.
The flank doesn't even matter. I
No,
mean,
it's just they're already dead.
I call
And
it
I
getting
want to
confidence in
highlight,
your friend.
Hornry is already up to 20 and 5 kills on the board.
yeah. You know,
BYB
I mean, they're
fam,
just getting
going to Astral
out-dueled
to do them
over and
Astral
over again.
Guardian
You
things
know,
I do.
You know,
that,
I
I mean,
think-
but if I had to say strategy-wise, you know, it's an econ, but it was just too slow. You know, maybe sync up
Keep up.
and everybody cross the Vice wall to try and get a fast push, because if you wait on an econ, you're just gonna get stomped no matter what.
Absolutely, Vice Flash gonna push these players off. Good counter, so keeping him back. And Synthoa is looking to just go for the swing. Players on him though, gonna get traded insta. Still vault pops. They're looking to get a good execute. Vice gonna dodge that still vault. Anchored in backside. And they're not ready to get bombed down. Rotates are already here. Retake's gonna start as they're getting plant down. Guns
Spike
go on from the side of
planted.
Bioshock. And it's 3 hiding behind this box of plastics.
Oh my
On we
God.
finding 2 in the main.
One
And it's
enemy
all but
remaining.
over. And that's around people. Hornwy with 4 from the flank.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it, but they're just getting flanked round after round after round after round. And I don't know what happened with the Vice util there. I guess they died a little too early into the round. But, I mean, something just needs to be done about the flank here. It's
Absolutely. I think the
just getting
story,
murdered on it.
the win condition of this game already for Bioshock is just killing the Phoenix. If you can just get him dead, it's looking like a very winnable round. However, they're letting him get too many, and now, backed up onto this eco, only pistols in hand.
Get out of my way.
Gonna look for this full A execute.
Yeah.
Aether gonna be pushed off the main angle. Forced to
Pierce.
step back a little. However, rotates are already coming through. They're gonna be ready for an almost instant retake. If they can even get out, Synthoa gonna find one through smokes. Visol comes out, but the Judge is
little
behind
too
this.
early.
He's gonna find one,
Last player standing.
and that's picks all around the board. Just with the chills now, and he's gonna be stunned up. Ether going for knife there. Again,
Yeah.
just another disaster of a round.
I don't know if you want to, you know, you want to be a little deeper onto A site. Just that Visalt was just a little too early there. I think it's a good idea. You know, you're on an econ, you have the site there. You can force the enemies to play close angles. They have to come to you, but they just, I don't even think it hit anybody. You know, you gotta wait a
No.
little bit, or you know, maybe save it for that B site where you can get so close up B main, but.
I think if Bio could recognize, like, 'cause what we've been seeing from Bio is hits and splits and hits and splits and hits and splits. I think if they could, you know, throw out a fake or something, these players are rotating very fast.
Okay, we do see Hori on the flank here. The Vice wall is here. So
Vice
they
gonna get
should
two
know if he
traded
goes
insta.
through this.
And they have all this link space. However, Horby is
You want to
behind
fight it?
again.
Oh, he didn't even go through the wall.
Always a pain back there. No, he didn't, so they don't know. It's really just up to, do they clear him? And even if they do, can they kill
should
him?
have seen him.
Gonna pop ulti here?
That's a
Okay,
really-
teammates quick on the approach.
Spike
They're gonna be
planted.
getting pincered here. It's up to them to win these gunfights, to win the game. Ult gonna be shut down, or we sent back to main. And Kingston gonna find Ether. Promising look into the round. However, Horby is still alive, still active. Finds one.
One enemy
Finds a
remaining.
second.
Last player standing.
Down to the 1v1 now. Horby versus Chills. MVPs for both the teams. And Horby's gonna find it! Gets the tap onto a full HP Chills. And that's 10th round on the board for Revenants. A guaranteed 10-2 half.
Yeah, you know, I talk
Last
about it.
round
They
in the
cleared him
half.
out, but you know, in a 3v3, you're getting pinched from all sides. You know, I want to say play safe, but especially with that fade ult there, it's kind of tough to do that. You got to watch all the angles. And then, you know, it wouldn't hurt to maybe be a little more aggressive. You know their top frag is coming down long at you. He just got pulled out of his ult. Maybe you push the other two, try and dwindle the numbers down, and then just, you know, play time with Phoenix. But I mean, when you're 27-6, it just definitely comes down to being able to shoot them before they can shoot you.
Absolutely. Synthoa gonna be finding the first one in mid. It's a bit of a slower approach, but still, just another split. To the side of Bioshock, not very much different. Synthoa gonna be finding both in mid. And it's just these last two. Kingston finding the response, revenge for the teammates, but now it's just up to him. Gonna find the second and get off to death by Ether. 11th round on the board for Revenants, and they only need this pistol and the bonus
Switching
to
sides.
secure the first map.
Yeah.
We
I
got
mean, it's
this.
safe to say that if Bio lose here, that it's pretty much over. But
Absolutely. I mean, the pistol. It's kind of even hard to start talking about a comeback story when you're looking at such a dire score as 11-1. But I mean, if you want to start that story, you gotta start here.
yeah, definitely pistol, gotta win it. You know, full buy up, try and the read here. If they, oh no, if they go A. I mean, you're running into the Viper, so maybe the wall can stall it out here, but it could just be a stomp here. But wait, the call being made. 3, maybe 4 rotating over towards A. You've got that Yoru 2-piece, so now Vice is not alone.
Knocking them.
Absolutely. These are gonna get shot down, and Bio finding the first pick. One of the few first bloods they've got in this series. Looking for the walkout, and they're just gonna walk out. No util.
Spike down.
Player
A.
for player.
One enemy
And the Vice fall on
remaining.
their face. Chills finding 2. And it's just up to Horby. Mr. Dinkles responding, shutting him down. And just like we said, that's the first page in the book. First round on the board. And a necessary one at that.
Yeah, what a read there out of Bio. I mean, you see the start of the
should play
round,
some
it's
Astral Stars
just
in this
Chills on A. And then all of a sudden, you know, we see Mr. Dinkles coming over, who ended up getting 3 kills and saving the round. I think Ivantic as well.
Rise and bring glory.
And then the Zoro teleport, just being able to absolutely tear him apart and capitalize on the Aether off of that Vice wall there.
Yeah, now we're gonna see mid approach from the side of Revenants. Looking to go down Link. It's up to Ivantic, gonna get shut down. No hold, but however, Mr. Dinkles finding 1, finding 2, not gonna find the 3rd. Even trades, however, Raccoon is low. And oddly enough, Bio are gonna keep pressing this, trying to fight for the Link space.
Time to jump.
Tossing Smeets on the face. However, Synthoa is gonna just go in the other direction here.
At this point, I say just chill. You shouldn't be fighting aggressively, especially when you're going up against, I guess it's a force 5, but what you assumed to be an eco. You don't want to give them these close angles, especially when you have the better guns at range.
Absolutely. Oh no! Please don't do it! Don't do it, Synthoa! Don't do it! They've had enough troubles.
Enough.
Wait.
The flanks. Zoro
We might-
does find Raccoon though, tucked in a
Might
corner.
be
That was a
safe after
pretty
all.
good find
Chills.
there. They might have an idea here. Oh,
30
the timing
seconds
though.
left.
Yeah, this
The timing.
timing is dirty.
Oh, the timing. Oh my goodness.
Right there.
They missed each other. Oh wait, no, it's coming
Player
through.
standing.
Tension opponent. Zoro gonna find both.
Cutting through.
Great shots, great response, and I had chills for chills during that round.
Suck a better one step back.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, you expect to win that. You expect to win that. You know, 3 versus 5. Saving most of the guns there, pretty good. And I don't really like the mid aggression, although I can see, you know, wanting to try and reclaim some of that space, but definitely you don't want to give them those close angles when you have these good guns. And now they're being punished for it. The econ of Revenants Academy not looking good going up against Bio.
I think Bioshock has a bit of a read here. They've got a lot of people stacked to admit. They're ready for this hit. And Mr. Dinkles, the horn we shut downer,
Enemy remaining.
per se. And
Spike down mid.
they're all just gonna fall. Mr. Dinkles and Zoro putting up an amazing defense and art. Now it's just Raccoon. Gonna find one, find the second, and he's still on full HP. Bit threatening, but you know, 3 Vandals is a sure. No big worries yet.
Yeah, definitely. Just
mean,
don't
surely
let him
not.
get that gun. Don't let him get the gun.
Nope. Shut down,
There you go.
shut down.
Good keep away.
And that, I'm seeing some great reads out from Bioshock. You know, first of all, reading that A hit, this time, reading the mid hit, they definitely have an idea of how, you know, how Revenants want to come into this game, and especially this half.
Yeah, I like the passive play there, you know, just not getting aggressive, keeping the long distance there, maybe not pushing with the sheriff. If you're not confident you can win that duel, just try and pick up a gun to save for next round. But they do force up. I guess, you know, you can't drop around here, so.
No, absolutely not.
We now see
Well, I mean, you
another
can't.
mid-hit, but they are running into the stack.
Yeah, and this is going to be another read. Mr. Dinkles finding value again. Not as much as he'd like. Yudu going to be popped. Getting the info. However, with this, while he's in the soul, it's going to be Chilslow on site. Not going to find the kill. Hornry going to be on site. And he has 3v4 now. Every round matters for the side of Bioshock, and especially this
Spike
one.
planted.
You do not
He
want to be going
dodged the
into
Prowler.
the final round.
Not ready yet. Retrieving flash.
Only this retake, and
There.
Kingston is approaching with an op at that. This is going to be a tough
Standing ahead.
situation for Bioshock.
Oh, but Advantic gives up his position here.
However, huge pick from Zoro onto Hornry. And now the retake gets going. That op, suddenly useful in the hold. You have to start stalling it. Stalling out the stall util, you know?
I mean, you got a lot of util. You got the stun.
Zoro
still
gonna
with
find
your
that
Astra.
first. Getting a little greedy on it.
Oh, with
One
the stick!
enemy
The
remaining.
stick!
The stick! And they get the wrong! Necessary, even Tank gonna find Raccoon after that stick. Beautiful play from Kingston, holding with the op. Bit of fear, you know, I think that was the first even instance of fear we've seen from Revenants, from Raccoon, not just swinging out there.
Yeah, I mean, I
Definitely
want to talk about
sensing some momentum.
Ivantinic here, because, you know, struggling during the game, but definitely was a key factor to his team winning the round. Dodges the Prowler, dodges the Arc Rose, comes up through Recon Darts, which gives pressure for his team to retake A, and then, you know, was able to help secure the round there. So really making an impact.
Redundant.
Oh,
My
no.
ultimate's ready. Gun here.
Joke's over! You're dead!
We do see the trap, though, sort of coming over towards Link. They're not going to go for the gun. Now we see the sight hit here. Or we able to find one. Couldn't get the gun, though. Now brought back as we see the hit into sight.
Yeah. It's the 5v3. Mr. Dinkles has been this half savior. He's gonna try and continue to be. However, Raccoon on the face. Take down, spam through the wall. Hornry, however, is behind.
Last player standing.
And so many angles, so many things to watch for. Just up to Astra now. And look behind him. Synthoa,
Thirsty.
ready. Not even necessary though. Ether gonna find the kill, and that's 12-5 on the board. This is not
Match
looking good
point.
for Bio.
No, definitely not. You know, retake was very similar. Maybe should have waited a little bit for those Astra smokes. I'd like to see, you know, let the util come out. You're peeking into a crossfire. You need those smokes to be able to disrupt it. Because then maybe you can play around it a bit more and try and isolate some duels there. So, but at this point, you have to play perfect if you want to be able to win this game.
Absolutely. No mistakes allowed here. Mid phase gonna come out. Ivan Tank. Holding now rule true. Gonna find his fourth one on the game. Finding the second. And Link, you cannot get into their ether. Just gonna back off. Chill's finding some
Spike
thrower
down
over
mid.
into Art. And this is complete
One
control from
enemy
Bio.
remaining.
A quick response. And now it's just up to Raccoon on the A site. Vice wall in his face, gonna be triggered.
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
you
just gotta
just-
pop that sometimes.
Ah,
And Zora's gonna
you
know here too because of the footsteps. Yep.
save here.
Oh! Gonna find the pick.
Bring them down.
Honestly, I say just go for it. You're up 12-5. Your team has, I mean, it was a bit of a split buy, but you still got some decent money. Just try and do some damage at least. You know, so many of these players don't even have to buy more shields next round. Try and hurt their economy a little bit.
30 seconds left.
But definitely a great answer here. You know, just collapsing. Evantonik able to find 2 quick frags. And a third. Getting up to 6 on the game. You know, Evantonik really just being able
Enemies
to
close. Eyes up.
control B-Link there. Just, you know, the team play was there. The crossfires held true, and just some clean Valorant, clean team play that won them around there. I like it, you know, but I'm still not betting for, not betting on them if I had to, but we do see a bit of a tech pause coming out here, but now, oh, never mind, unpaused,
Yep.
getting into an A hit.
Getting straight back in. It's just gonna be another fast approach. They really just want to get this map over. However, full Vice seats will set up here. They are ready for the hit. Fatal gonna come out. Vice ult gonna come out. Silver ult gonna come out. Astro ult gonna come out. Just a mess on site right now. This is Valorant, people. And Chill is gonna find Ether, diving a little too deep into backside. Mr. Dinkins, a beautiful spot in the smoke. Finding 1, finding 2. And now it's down to the
Spike down
2v4. Astro wall in the face. And this round seems all but unapproachable.
Last player standing.
To find that, and there's nothing for Raccoon to find there. An amazing shutdown from the side of Bioshock. What a readout from
If you're
them.
not a good
Yeah,
shot
I
today,
mean,
don't
you know,
worry. There are other
Mr.
ways to be
Dinkles
useful.
playing in that smoke on a link there absolutely won them that round. He has just been finding the nastiest positioning all this half and has been the reason why they've come back from 11-1 to 12-7, bringing this game to way closer than I thought it would have been starting this half. But just finding the positioning, knowing that Hori is feeling it, he's going to be swinging, he's going to be pushing, and just exploiting that lack of carefulness.
Absolutely, and I think we're just seeing the whole of Bioshock starting to really fire. However, as I say that, Kingston being shut down, trying to play a bit too aggressive on the angle.
Oh, I mean, you can't dash into that corner there. You know, you're just gonna get stranded. Even if you got the smokes, you still have to try and
Absolutely.
make it down long.
Even on site here, he's ready for it, but they're all going to be going back. Interesting strategy here. Even going to find the first.
Spike down. B.
However, quickly traded. Now it's just Yoru in his ult.
Spike planted.
Gonna take the aim duel against Horby, and he's not gonna win it out. Now just with the chills. And he's full blinded. Still gonna find Horby. Whiff coming out there. It's just up to him. Astra is on the flank. Going to choose to just take the gun loss.
Uh-oh.
However, you don't have any info on this. If you're chills, you're just assuming, oh, this guy's main. This is a scary situation to be in.
Yeah, I mean, Synthoa. Or
However,
Synthoa
it looks like he might have an inkling. He might know something. Still, face toward main.
no time.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh no.
And that's going to be game
Attackers
outside
win.
of Revenants. 13-7. And a great game at that. Now that's 1-0 up for Revenants into the series. And I mean, as much as it was the 13-7, as much as it was very dominant, I think that was a really interesting game and a really good test to see kind of how both these teams play. Bioshock, I think we're doing much better on that second half. Really showing how their strategy works, showing how, you know, how they play is effective.
Yeah.
And Hornby, I think, it was just massive impact. Now we are going to be going into a short tech pause / intermission, going to next map. We'll see you on the flip side.